Namo Buddhaya. This is a special inner guide video that is dedicated to the little daughter who had asked a question from us. She had mentioned in her comment that she has a big problem with laziness, and also her exams are near, so she is in a big stress. And also, she said that she no longer finds a value in her life. I think most of us have these kind of questions. Okay, let's start with the first question. She had said that she has a big problem with laziness and sleepiness. I know that getting up early in the morning and sitting for studying and doing the studies is a little bit of a hard thing to do, when you are a student especially. First of all, let me introduce you to the inspiring words of the Supreme Buddha. Supreme Buddha said, Sukharani asadhuni attano ahitani cha. It is very easy to do evil things, the things that brings the unhappiness or the suffering or the regret to our life. Supreme Buddha said, Yangve hitangcha sadhungcha tangve paramadukkaram. If there is something that brings us the happiness to our life, if there is something that makes us proud about ourselves, doing such things is a really, really hard thing. So, getting up early in the morning and sitting for studies is a hard thing to do. Why? Because if you do that, it brings the happiness to your life. Right? Studying, educating yourself brings the happiness to your life. So, most of the people, they find hard to get up early in the morning. Now, we all like that fluffy and comfy and warm feeling that we feel on the bed in the morning. So, when you open your eyes in the morning, your mind says, just stay another 5 minutes. And that's the point that you are making the mistake. Your mind, you listen to your mind, you listen to what your mind says. When your mind says, just stay another 5 minutes more, it's okay, it's not a problem. That is where you make the mistake. And that 5 minutes will last long for another hour. And when you get up after an hour, your mind, the same mind that told you to stay on the bed for 5 minutes will complain you. You are not studying. It will say that you are going to fail the exams. That is how our mind lies us. That is how our mind tricks us. So when you get up in the morning, when you open your eyes in the morning, right? When your mind says to stay on the bed for another 5 more minutes, do not listen to that. Do not listen to that lie. Get up and refresh yourself and start studying early in the morning. There's a great quote that I remember all times when, even in my life, when I'm going through hard times, I remember this quote. It says, it is a wonderful quote. It says, if you do what is easy today, your life will be hard tomorrow. Let me repeat that again. If you do what is easy today, your life will be hard tomorrow. But if you do what is hard today, your life will be easy tomorrow. So getting up early in the morning is a hard thing. But if you do that hard thing, remember, your life will be easy. But if you stay on the bed for another 5 minutes, doing what is easy, your life will be hard tomorrow. So get up early in the morning. Do you know how long you're going to feel the hardship of getting up early in the morning? Do you know for how many days that you are going to find very hard to get up in the morning? Only for 3 weeks. If you get up early in the morning and start studying in the morning for three weeks, remember, only for 3 weeks, it will make a habit to your life. And after that 3 weeks, you will never find it hard. It will become a habit. You don't want to think about it again and again. It will become a day-to-day practice. So do that, although you feel hard, for 3 weeks and see the result. That is the answer for first question. And let's go for the second question. She had mentioned that her exams are near, so she's stressed and she's unfocused. Her mind is clumsy. So what is the answer for this? Remember, now when the exams are near, it is the normal nature that we feel frustrated, distracted, unfocused, and clumsy. That is the normal nature, right? So I need you to do one thing. This is a special thing to do when the exams are near, right? Focus on one thing at a time to study, right? Focus on a single thing at a time to study. Study for 20 minutes, right? When you're studying, just forget all the other things that you have to study. Now, normally when we start to study, we find that there are so many things that we have to study in a short time. Now, the more you remember these things, the more your mind will regret. The more your mind will start to become clumsy. So I need you to do this thing. When you're studying, just forget about all the other things that you have to study. Just think, now I have to study only this thing. There's nothing that I have to study more. Just focus on that and study for maybe 20 minutes and take a break for 5 minutes. This is called the Pomodoro technique. I think it is well known. So study for 20 minutes, well focused, and give yourself a little bit of a break for 5 minutes and start studying again. And focus on the special points in your studies, right? And now, when the exams are near, if you haven't studied, right? So I know you're regretting in your mind. So, if you didn't make through the exam, I'm using the word if, right? If you did not make through your exams, I need you to do this thing. What is that? Never, ever give up studying. At some point in our life, we will lose our balance and we will fall down. We will go through hard situations, right? We will fall down in our life, but get back up and try again. You will fall for the first time. You will fall for the second time. You will fall for the fourth time, fifth time. Though you fall for the 1,000,000th time, what you have to do is get back up and try again. As humans, we should never give up in our studies and in our success. So, if you did not make through the exams, do not quit your studies. Do not quit your education. Right? Get back up and try again, and one day, you will find that you have been success. And let's go for the third question. She said that she no longer finds a value in her life. Remember, as humans, we are born to this world to add a value to our life. When we come to this world, we brought nothing. We had nothing. We knew nothing. But as humans, we have to add a value to this life. Right? Study well, start loving others, start loving your parents. And if you cannot study for yourself, right? If you cannot work for yourself, work for the people who loves you. There are so many people around you who loves you, who have dedicated their life on behalf of yourself. Right? They are your parents. Try to bring a smile to your parents' face saying, Mom, Dad, I made it. One day you should do this. So if you did not give up, you will be success one day. But if you quit, if you give up your education, if you give up in your goals, it is very sure you will fail. Therefore, never give up. Work for yourself as well as work for the people who love you most. Right? Bring a smile to their face. Right? The only thing that you have to do in your position as a child, as a student, is to study only. You don't want to earn money. You don't want to look after the babies. There's nothing to do. Only thing that you have to do is to study. Do that. But never give up. That is what I have to share in this special video. So I wish that daughter and all of you have the same questions in your life. May you be well and happy. May you live long. May you live a happy life. And may all of your dreams come true. And may all of you realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. When life hits you hard, and when you are in that dark place, sometimes we make excuses saying that this is my destiny, this is my fate, and this is my bad luck, and this is my karma. Well, what if I told you not everything that happens in your life is your bad luck? It is not always according to your destiny or fate. There are certain things that we can do to change our destiny and fate. Okay, so let's discuss about it in this video. Now, some of you have been asked in the comment section that is everything that happens in life is predetermined or due to karma? Okay, so I'm going to give you the answer for this question. Before giving the answer to this question, let's look at how Buddha taught about this perspective. The Buddha says, those who hold on to the idea of everything that happens, every experience that happens in our life is predetermined, whether it is good, bad, or neutral, that every feeling, every experience in life is predetermined or is due to bad karma or karma that is in the past. That perspective, that weave leads to inactivity, or that weave make that person a lazy person. So the Buddha says, just because this is your bad luck or destiny or karma, you should give up trying. The Buddha never says like that. The Buddha says, always try something to make your life a better one. Okay? The Buddha says, there are certain things that can be done to change our destiny. Okay? And so many of you believe that destiny cannot be changed. Well, it's wrong. Destiny can be changed according to the choices that we make right here, right now. So that is why it is very important to remember that not everything that is happening in our life, whether it is good or bad or neutral, is always due to bad karma. Okay? There are certain phenomena and there are certain things and processes that happens in our life out of this concept of destiny. Okay? Let's say you're trying to go to work and you're getting ready to go to work, and all of a sudden there will be a huge rain. Okay? Now that rain is due to bad karma? No. That is a phenomena, and that is a process that happens in this environment. Well, rather than complaining about this bad karma, rather than complaining about our destiny, why can't we choose to do something about it? Why can't we try to change the situation? If we can change the situation, then definitely we can do it. That is why there's a great saying that says, if you have a problem in your life, okay, if you can do something about that problem to change that problem or make it a better one, okay, come out of that problem, then you should not worry about it, because certainly you can do something about it, okay? And there are certain problems that appears in your mind and in your life that you cannot do anything about it. Well, if you cannot do anything about it, you should not worry about it, okay? So that is why always remember, karma is a bigger part in our life. It plays a bigger role in our life, but we can change certain things, okay? We can change our destiny by choosing to make correct choices in this present moment. So that is why what I have to share in this video today, never ever believe that your destiny cannot be changed. You can choose to do it by making correct choices. Work hard and do not ever give up in your life. Still, I can remember this incident. When I was little, when I was at school, one of my teachers came to our noisy classroom and she asked from us, "Do you know why you have given 2 ears and 1 mouth?" Then she said, "The reason why we have given 2 ears and 1 mouth is to talk less and to listen more." Ladies and gentlemen, when we deal with people in our relationship life, in your family life, in your workspace, if you have this quality of active listening, that can help you in many ways. This quality can help you in many ways. Okay? Now, so many people come to our temple and they talk with the monks with their problems and about their family problems, the problems in the workspace. And there's one thing that they all say, and that is, they say, "They are not listening to me. They are not willing to pay attention to me. They cannot understand me." That is one thing that they say. So, if you have the art of active listening, if you practice the art of active listening, you will be liked by many people, right? People always like to talk with someone who is paying more attention to them, right? If you consider about the Buddha, Buddha was a great listener. At one time, one man comes up to the Buddha and he starts insulting him, right? He starts blaming him. All through that incident, the only thing that Buddha did was he listened to that person, right? He paid a good attention to that person. And in another time, one lady comes with her son died on her hand, and she was wailing and she was lamenting in front of the Buddha. And the only thing that the Buddha did was, he paid attention to that lady's suffering, right? He listened to that lady's suffering. So, if you can practice this art of active listening, if you can listen more and talk less, people will start to like you. Remember that. For an example, if you come up to me, right? If you wanted to talk about a problem that you are having in your life, and from the beginning of the conversation, if I started to give you instructions and give you the advice and my opinions about that problem, what would you feel? You will start to think like, this monk cannot understand me. He's not willing to pay attention to me. He's not willing to listen to me. So practice this art of active listening. So how can we practice the listening? Well, the Buddha said that all the words that we speak from our mouth is pre-processed in our mind. That means we think first all these words and then we put it into our mouth and we speak. So if we can be mindful about what we think, what is going on in our mind, then it is very easy to control what you speak. And then it is very easy to know when to speak and when not to speak. So this practice is called, being mindful about the thoughts is called Chittanupassana in Buddhism, right? For that, The only thing that we have to do is like just sit in a quiet place and just watch our thoughts, what comes to our mind. We don't want to react with that thought. We don't want to chase behind that thought. Just identify the thought as just a thought. That is one practice that you can practice to be a good listener. And also, there's another way to practice this listening ability is to engage in conversations and try to listen more to that person. So, in the next conversation that you're having, try this out. Go to someone, and if they wanted to talk with you, just from the beginning of the conversation, tell it to yourself that I'm going to listen to this person more. I'm going to pay attention to this person more. That is one way of paying and showing your love and affection to the person that is in front of you, right? That is why lending a good ear and listening to someone and sharing their suffering or problems with them is one way of showing your compassion and love towards them. Okay? So in the next conversation, when you go through that, just listen more to them. Let them put out what is in their mind. And when they go silent, and then you have to ask some more questions. Tell me, how did you do that? Right? How it happened? Right? Tell me more about the details that happened. Then they will be more interested in talking with you, and they will start to like you and love you. When you practice this, then you will get used to this active listening. Okay? And also remember, do not listen to someone just to reply to them or just to give your opinion to them. Always listen to people to understand about their situation, to understand who the person behind these words, and to understand the intention behind these words. When you do that, then you will become an active and a good listener, and then you will be liked by many people. So that is all about the active listening. Be mindful about your thoughts and listen more than you talk. Keep that in your mind.